Hey girls, I apologize for this being a day late, but this is my 22-week pregnancy vlog. So as of yesterday, baby is, should have had this open, almost a foot long and a little over a pound, size of a papaya. We had our anatomy scan a few days ago and found out we're having a boy. He was measuring perfectly at everything. I was 21 weeks, 5 days at the time of the scan, and everything was measuring 21 weeks and a few days, except for his brain was measuring 21 weeks and 6 days. And they said that that's perfectly fine and everything was good. They checked the kidneys, the heart, everything in him was perfect, and it was really exciting. But he was super stubborn because we went to find the gender about 5 minutes into the scan, and the ultrasound tech warned us at the beginning, okay, you know, your baby's in a position where it's going to be really difficult to see. He was on his stomach and curled up. And by the end of the scan, I mean, his head was up by my belly button to start with. By the end of the scan, he was on his back and his head was at my pelvis. So, I mean, he had completely flipped during the scan. And so he went and tried to find the gender, and we had a moment where he's like, it looks like it's a boy, and I couldn't see what he was talking about. To be honest, I couldn't tell what he was looking at. He's like, it looks like it's a boy, but we'll have to come back and see if we can see, because I mean, we can't guarantee the gender as it is, even if we clearly see it, but I don't even want to tell you for sure it's a boy unless I'm sure I'm seeing a boy. I was like, okay. Sorry. I'm getting a cold. So we went through the entire anatomy scan and we're looking at everything, and it was just wonderful. And baby boy woke up and started moving around and it completely swapped positions, and it was really cool because then he went back to try and find the gender again, and he was just about to give up. He said, okay, you know, I think that's the best view we're gonna get. It just wasn't looking good. And he goes to move the probe off of him, and we get baby from closed legs to completely spreading them, and he had to backtrack because I was like, I think I just saw a boy, and he had said, I think we just saw something. And I was like, I think we just saw a boy, and it's hard to hear on the tape because he talks really quietly for some reason, but he noticed it before I did, and as soon as he backtracked over it and backtracked to where it was like clear boy. I was like, boy, boy, which you can see that on our gender ultrasound video that I uploaded. But it was like, holy crap, totally boy. No way of denying it, it's a boy. And so that was exciting because that's been my instinct the entire time, was that he was a boy. So we're excited about that. We do have a name picked. I'm not going to keep the name a secret like some people do, just because I'm not worried about it. I know the name we picked, and I'm not worried about 20 people stealing it, so whatever. We're naming him Malachi Sebastian. Mark and I decided in the beginning that we were going to stick with an M name for the first name, because right now it's Mark, Megan, and Mitchell. And this might be our only baby together, so we don't want like Mark, Megan, Mitchell, Xavier or something like that. And our last initial starts with an M too, so we decided to just be quirky and stay with an M. So we went through a list of boy names and a list of girl names. In the end, I ended up making up a girl name just because I didn't like any of the M girl names that I found. And so we agreed on the girl name I made up, and we settled on the middle name because it was the name that Mark originally wanted to name a daughter if he had one. And I hated the name choice, so I was like, you know what? I will settle with this for a middle name as a girl if you settle for the name that I like for the middle name for the boy. So he hates the name Sebastian. Is not a fan, but we made an agreement, so middle name Sebastian. And so Malachi was just one of the names that we went through and we're like, you know, that's unique. I always like the name Malachi. Um, I know it reminds a lot of people of Children of the Corn, but I don't care. I like the name Malachi. And, you know, Mitchell is kind of a unique name where we live. There's not many people named that. And so we kind of thought, you know, we want to give our son a unique name that isn't, like, super outlandish. So Malachi Sebastian it was. Anyway, we're really excited about it. And, yeah, a little boy. I always thought I was going to have a little boy first, but yeah, I know Mark really wanted a girl, and I was kind of hoping that he would get that since we already have Mitchell, you know, we already have the boy and everything, and because my parents don't have any grandchildren that are girls, but we're still totally happy. I was actually ecstatic to hear that it was a boy, because, I mean, all this time that's what I felt, and to finally be able to put a name with my baby was incredible. Anyway, so let's see what else. Symptoms this week. My back pain has been easing off quite a bit. I still have it occasionally. When I do have it, it's bad, but it's gotten a lot better. Braxton Hicks contractions. Yeah, those babies have started. And the only way I can explain it is I really can't see how people can confuse it for true labor, because to me, I mean, it's clearly not painful. The only time that they've been painful is I had a Braxton Hicks that triggered a Charlie horse in my abdomen. That was painful. But mainly, to me, it just feels like you can tell that it's your uterus tightening. Like, it's very obvious. And it feels like you're working out your abs. You just got done working out your abs. Like that fatigued muscle feeling, the really tight fatigued muscle feeling. That's how it feels to me. Yeah, it might feel different to you, but that's how it feels to me. But it's really cool feeling them because I know that it's a sign that I'm that much closer to having my baby. And it's a good sign because it means that my uterus is learning to do what it needs to do when the time comes. And so that's exciting. I did get monitored up in the labor and delivery ward for the first time a few nights ago. And I really didn't even say much about it, I guess, because it just wasn't that big of a deal to me. But I was having like sharp pains in my chest, so it got kind of scary. We went to the ER, and so they sent me up to labor and delivery because that's their protocol when you're over 20 weeks. And they had me monitored, so they had me hooked up and did a non-stress test and everything. And in the end, they talked to my doctor and everything because she was the one on call anyway for the night. And basically, it's like reverse sciatica. Instead of shooting pains and nerves that go down to your legs, it's the reverse in ones that go up to your chest, and I can't remember the name of it. But basically, baby was in an odd position. They had me move around a little bit, and the pain went away. So that was interesting because I wasn't expecting that yet. But the baby was fine. It was nothing really to do with any concerns for the baby. It's just that was their protocol. So I got monitored for a little bit, and it was kind of interesting. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Oh, as far as my weight has gone, I was down a little over 20 pounds. Now at 22 weeks, I am still down 17 pounds. So still down quite a bit. I do think that I'm going to reach my goal of not gaining anything during this pregnancy, and that was the most important thing. So, I mean, yeah, it'd be cool to still be down at the end of the pregnancy, but if I'm not, I'm not. I'm not worried about it. My goal was to not reach 300 pounds during the pregnancy, and I started at 293, and I'm sure that's not going to happen. So I'm sure I'm not going to get above 293. So perfectly content, perfectly happy with that, and really excited. And yeah, 18 weeks until I meet my baby. Yeah, it's exciting. Blood sugars with gestational diabetes are still doing great. They haven't had me change anything. They actually wanted to look at my meter again to double check that my numbers were accurate. And of course they were. So yeah, that's really exciting. Again, 22 weeks and really happy about it. Again, I'm sorry that this was a day late. Hopefully I'll get next week's on time. Alright, bye.